Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that takes a look at players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. And all the news yesterday. I remember I was at Members Day, watching the players train, watching the players afterwards in a Q&A, talking to the fans, and my phone was just blowing up with all these rumours of Karim Benzema, the picture of Benzema pictured on a plane, and with the cryptic message that let's leave the past behind. And of course, you know, something like that, a message like that, got Arsenal fans into an absolute frenzy yesterday. Many believing that this is the message from a man that is on his way to Arsenal. It was absolutely everywhere. Twitter was blowing up, Facebook was blowing up, everything was blowing up, apart from the plane he was on, thankfully. And it was just crazy yesterday. Now, what of these rumours? I mean, we were told later on that Real Madrid have come out and said, listen, it's an old picture. He's still with us. He's still with our squad over here in China. And don't read anything into it. But I must say, I mean, unless Benzema is really on the massive wind-up of Arsenal fans, which he could be, by the way, he could be on that. But it really is interesting when you're seeing stuff like this happening. Now, as a result of this cryptic tweet, the odds on Benzema joining Arsenal have been slashed by a lot of the betting companies, and that's always a sign that they do believe there is some sort of interest there. Again, I reiterate, I said this so many times. It's a deal that could happen. Arsene Wenger and Arsenal, like Benzema, would like to sign him, but it's not dependent on them. It's dependent on Real Madrid. It's dependent on them buying somebody else, I suppose, or them being willing to let Karim Benzema leave. It has been a bit strange that on the tour he hasn't played. He didn't play. I don't think he played in the last game, did he? Or he trained away from the squad, apparently with an injury. Listen, there's just so many things flying around at the moment. You don't know what's true and what's not true. But it's really strange, this cryptic message that he put out yesterday on Instagram. Even Ian Wright tweeting yesterday saying, listen, stop teasing us. You know, I mean, it would be a great signing, but as I said, you know, let's not get carried away. But the odds have been slashed on Benzema joining Arsenal, and there's been more excitement as a result of that. Now, many people thought that if Benzema is to join, or many people have been thinking, should I say, if Benzema is to join Arsenal, it would mean that Real Madrid are going to have to go out there and make a marquee signing, and then he'd be surplus of requirements. They move him on, a bit like what happened with Mesut Ozil. And a lot of the people out there have been claiming that that marquee signing that Real Madrid were going to go chasing was Marco Reus. But Marco Reus's representatives have come out. They came out yesterday and they said, listen, Reus is flattered with all the links linking him to Real Madrid, to Arsenal, to Liverpool, to all these different places, but he is definitely staying at Borussia Dortmund. He's not going anywhere. He's not leaving. He's happy at Dortmund. He wants to continue fighting at Dortmund, and he's not interested in a move away. So that means that link is supposedly dead. Is not going to be Marco Reus that will be signed by Real Madrid to allow Karim Benzema to then make his way over to Arsenal. So again, the deals gets harder and harder, because who would that marquee signing be that Real Madrid would bring in? But it's not going to be Marco Reus. Reus is staying put at Borussia Dortmund. Player being linked with Arsenal today. We've been told Arsenal keeping tabs on him, very, very interested in him. Is Sergio Busquets. Of course, we all know who Busquets is. He won the treble last season with Barcelona, Spanish international, World Cup winner. He's won everything. He's won absolutely everything. Spanish outlet called Sport claiming today that Arsenal are keeping tabs on him, are showing an interest in Busquets. You know, if there's any sort of little chance that they could get him, they would like to move and get Busquets. Again, for me, highly, highly unlikely. I mean, why would you... Listen, I love Arsenal. We all love Arsenal. But let's face it, how could you leave Barcelona? You've won the treble, right? You've won everything with Barcelona. You've grown up in that club. You live in Barcelona. You're comfortable with your surroundings. Unless you want an almighty challenge, I mean, why would Busquets want to move away from Barcelona? And there's just no way that Barcelona would sell Busquets either, because they just don't need to. Why do they need to sell him? He's a homegrown player. And players like Busquets actually give me encouragement. When I look at Coquelin, I'll say, right, that's a player that's kind of come through our youth team ranks right up, just like what Busquets did over there in Barcelona. It's not always about going out there and spending wads on a player. Sometimes you need to, you know, develop them through your system, and that's what's happened with Coquelin. And let's hope he can emulate Busquets. But Busquets being linked with Arsenal today, very, very, very much doubt that one happening. One deal that has happened is, I spoke a bit about this one yesterday. It was Donyell Malen. He's a striker, so we signed a striker. Donyell Malen, the only problem is he's only 16 at the moment. But I was saying yesterday that this highly rated kid, he's plays for Ajax, or did play for Ajax, should I say, was being hunted down by Manchester United and also by Barcelona. He's very, very highly thought of. Well, he's signed for Arsenal, and those pictures there confirm it. He posted it on his Instagram. It looks like he posted it by mistake. Dick Law there as well. He then took the picture down very quickly, but he has signed for Arsenal, so he's going to join Arsenal on a scholarship deal. And then when he turns 17, he can get a full contract. But be very interested to see what this kid's like. He's supposed to be lightning quick, a clinical finisher, and big hopes for this kid, Donyell Malen. Let's remember him. Let's see how he gets on. But he has signed for Arsenal. We're brilliant at signing kids, aren't we? We always seem to get those deals over there, very quickly, but never the senior players. And on that, another youngster that's been linked with a move to Arsenal today. Again, we're being told that he's agreed to join. It's Ismail Benatia. Now, this is very interesting, this one. He plays for a team called AC Arles Avignon. He's only 17 years of age, and he's a midfielder. Another one, right? But the interesting thing about this one is that we were being told that he's definitely joining Manchester City. They've been chasing him. He's supposed to be another one. He sort of plays as a special talent. But we're being told today that Arsenal have reportedly gazumped Manchester City, and that Benatia is going to be signing for Arsenal with a 5-year deal. So again, that's not confirmed, but we are being told that that it has been gazumped, and that he's chosen to come to Arsenal over Manchester City, which is very interesting when you look at the academy that they've got up there at Manchester City. I've seen it. It's absolutely incredible. Their training ground, the facilities that they're building there. You would have thought youth players would be running up there. However, I think there's a couple of factors here. Number one, obviously, he plays over in France, so there's always the Arsene Wenger factor, and the factor that traditionally Arsenal have always had a lot of French players, so that would have enticed him. But I also think with some of these young players, they're looking on it and thinking, well, you know what? I'm seeing players at Arsenal that are in the youth team get a chance. They get a chance to actually make it through and play for the first team. Whereas I look at Manchester City, I don't see any of those kids ever get a chance to play in the first team. So what's the point in going and joining a team like that when I'm never ever going to get a chance? And I reckon a lot of these youngsters are looking at that and saying to themselves, well, no, I'd rather go to Arsenal, because I've got more of a chance there. On that, a player that joined us as a youngster was a massive prospect, but his career has always been blighted by injuries, and that is Abu Dhabi. Now, We were told last week that he was going to be joining West Bromwich Albion, and he was even pictured in a West Bromwich Albion training top. Pretty cool at West Brom. However, he's now decided that he's not going to be joining West Brom. He's joining Marseille, and they've announced on their website that they've come to an agreement with Diaby, just subject to a couple of little things being sorted out. Diaby's going to be announced as a Marseille player, and I think that's a great move for Abu Diaby. Back home in France as well, so, you know, be back at home, be able to get himself nice and fit. Less demanding league there in Liga 1. Playing for West Bromwich Albion for Tony Pulis, you know, he'd have to be getting his foot stuck in at every movement. He won't have to do that as much over there in the French league, and I think that'd be a great move for him to go to Marseille. So good luck to Abu Diaby. That'd be an incredible move for him moving to Marseille. We're being linked today as well with Jose Maria Caloron. He plays for Napoli. Spoken about him before on the show, and the links with him, linking him to Arsenal. Gazzetta dello Sport saying today that Arsenal on the verge of signing him. Again, I can't see why. Another winger, right winger again. All right, he can also play as a striker, you know, or as a forward player in a front three. He's more of a forward sort of front three player rather than an out-and-out winger. But being linked again with a move, the Spanish player, of course, used to play for Real Madrid. Again, I can't see this one. Gazzetta dello Sport, not always the most accurate of sources over there in Italy, but they are claiming today that Arsenal are close to a deal with Caloron. I'm not sure about that one. We'll have to wait and see what happens. And finally, the ever-moving, going-on saga of Joel Campbell. Where's he going to end up? Where's he going? Being told today, again by Gazzetta dello Sport, the Italian media outlet, that he's all set for a loan move, another loan move for this guy, right, to Palermo. And, oh, my gosh, so many loan moves for him. I mean, of course, Palermo sold Dybala. He's gone to Juventus. So they obviously looking for a player, a striker or a forward player. And they're very, very interested in picking up Joel Campbell. I really feel sorry for this guy. He's just hopping all over the place. He needs to find a permanent home. You know, it sounds horrible saying that. It's like I'm talking about a pet or something. But listen, this guy's a talented footballer. It just hasn't worked out for him at Arsenal. But we just want to see him playing somewhere regularly. It can't be good. Imagine if you, in your job, you just, well, you know what? I've done it before in previous jobs where you're working almost as a temp. That's a bit what he's like, isn't it? He's a bit like a temp. So, you know, you go, you work here for 3 months, then you've gone there, then you've gone there, then you've gone there. You never ever, you know, when I've done that before in the past, you've never ever felt part of the place that you've worked at. You go there, you'll get on with people. You might even enjoy some places you enjoy, other places you don't enjoy very much, but you're just always on the move, on the move, on the move. You're never settled. So, you know, you go to a place and you do your best there, but you never give it your real, what you would if you was at a place that you called it your home. And that's a bit like what it's like, must be like for Joel Campbell at the moment. And I really would like to see him find somewhere where he could be there on a permanent deal. All right, let's get into your tweets. Sorry, not tweets, comments that you've left in the comments below. And again, very grateful for all these comments. Yesterday, over 1,200 comments, which I'm really, really grateful for. I try to read through as many as I can, and I really, really appreciate them. I just keep them coming because I love some of the comments, especially sometimes some of the information you give on other players out there. It's really, really good. James Hebden says, Robbie, please read. Right, so I'm going to read this. He said, the only reason Benzema hasn't scored a lot of goals is because he's overshadowed by a world-class team full of stars. If Ronaldo is getting 50 goals plus a season, obviously he would be overshadowed, especially with Bale, Isco, James Rodriguez, etc. He said if Benzema was the main man, like he was a few seasons ago, he would get lots and lots of goals. And he said, think, people, please. All right, so he's definitely a big fan of Benzema. Mr. FF1, however, says Alexis and Giroud scored 30 goals in the Premier League with no penalties. He said Costa and Hazard scored 34 goals, which included 9 penalties. He said it was Alexis's first season and Giroud was out for 4 months, so they will improve and score more goals next season. Evan Peak says, Robbie, I watched Sergio Samper, that's the Barcelona holding midfielder kid that we've been linked with, in the Chelsea game, and he looks the part. He's good on the ball, he's quick out of his feet and accurate, and would be a good shout for a holding midfielder for Arsenal. And this one here from Ortuno Legends, quite a long one, so let's run through this one. He said, Arsenal's my favourite club, but I'm also a huge Madrid fan. And I can honestly say that Benzema isn't that much of an improvement on Giroud. He said, they're relatively the same type of player, except Benzema may be a slightly better finisher than Giroud, but I've definitely seen Benzema miss some sitters, he says. Not to mention the same tap-ins that people claim that Giroud for, he does as well. So he's saying that a lot of his goals are tap-ins. He says he really scores a goal from outside the penalty box. Also, his stats aren't that much above Giroud's, as you've shown on your show. The only reason why Benzema has a better goal scoring record is because he has the individual brilliance of Ronaldo to give him assists to score goals. Ronaldo's ability to leave defenders behind him always allows Benzema just to follow him, wait for him to pass the ball across, and just score a relatively easy goal. You could watch Benzema's goal videos where it's really just a repetition of Ronaldo giving Benzema an easy tap-in. Also, if you look all throughout football within the past several seasons, many top strikers are in the mould of Giroud. He said, I honestly think that Benzema is a reoccurring name because fans just want to see a big signing, because it'd be good to see the figures thrown all over the football world. And he said, by the way, I don't dislike Benzema. I would still be excited if we got him in the team. However, I think we could go without a striker. I think our problem has never been goals. It's been that our backline won't give up. That our backline won't give up an easy goal. And he said, if we're not able to do that, we can win the league. And he goes on to say that he thinks the addition of Petr Cech and Gabriel to the team has given us our best defensive backline in decades. So there you have it. He's a big Real Madrid fan. He's saying that, in his opinion, and he says he watches Benzema each and every week, that he's not much of an improvement on Olivier Giroud. It's just that we're getting excited over a big name. We are excited over that big name. We're going to have to wait and see. Of course, that's what I keep saying all the time. This cause is true. We have to wait and see what happens with that. But it's a real strange, cryptic message from Karim Benzema. Odds slashed on him. This one's going to run and run. We're going to be here on September the 1st. I knew it. I thought I'd be able to pack up Transfer Daily early, get some sleep in the mornings. No, no, no. As usual with Arsenal, it looks like we're going to be here till September the 1st with AFTV Transfer Daily. Thanks for watching today. Thanks to everybody who came up to me yesterday at the Members Day. Really, really touched by everybody, especially all the people who said that they watch Transfer Daily religiously. Thank you very much for this support. And we'll be back tomorrow at the same time.